And what we find is that when we speak to the greatness in people, the greatness comes forth. Greatness is one of those qualities that's actually evoked. So evoked means that it's called up and it's called forth and it can be summoned. How amazing is that? So if it can be summoned, it can be called forth, that means that it already lives inside of you right now.
The ability to influence is a gift of feminine leadership. Sometimes there's limited opportunities, a finite number of spots, but influence you can do from any position.
So everybody was saying, oh, you now know Oprah. Oh my gosh, you know Oprah. She goes, no, Oprah now knows me. I want to be like my mentor when I grow up, okay? 83 years young, no orthopedic shoes up in here. She wears 2-inch patent leather boots, gets pedicures and manicures, has the nerve to have a weave in her hair, has a boyfriend that she flies in from out of town. Oh my goodness, yes she does. Drives a white BMW SUV with 22-inch rims. Yes, she does.
You're known around the country for personal growth. You go to Nordstrom, you're one of their consultants, Boeing, University of Washington, and you wrote this book. Yes. All the joy you can stand. Yes. So you're the expert on joy, I have to ask you.
Well, I define joy as the source of happiness. It's the cause and happiness is the effect. Happiness is an emotion while joy is a state of being. And so to actually not have external circumstances determine your state is something that's unusual. The norm is something good happens, you feel happy. Something bad happens, you feel sad. But joy is unwavering.
For those of you who have had a chance to read my books or will be getting them today, I talk a lot about joy. And last night, Lorelei and I were talking about happiness versus joy. And she goes, well, aren't they the same thing? I said, oh, no, not according to my definition, because happiness to me is a feeling, and it serves a purpose. It gives you feedback in the moment. It gives you an emotional response. But it's based in circumstances and things that are occurring outside of you, what someone does or doesn't do, or an expectation met or not met. You could be in here feeling good, enjoying this wonderful food and the vendors and the presentation, and you go outside and see that someone has rammed into your car. And you go from happy to angry within a span of 30 minutes because it's a feeling. It's temporal and temporary by design. Hence, pursuit of happiness. This theme today is about achieving love and excellence. Isn't that exciting? We're not even interested in what's average. We're not even interested in the norm. We're not interested in what most people are doing or saying. We're interested in excellence, going above, going beyond, first class, top notch. I am going to live from self-care being the central and first concern, and then living my life from that place, being sure my spirit is full, being sure my mind is clear, being sure my body is healthy, being sure I'm fortified and renewed. And let me see what difference that might make in the choices I make, in how I speak, the words I use, the kind of friendships I have.
Her name is Debrena Jackson, and she is the author of the book, All the Joy You Can Stand, 101 Sacred Power Principles for Making Joy Real in Your Life. Debrena, good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Todd. It's really about cleaning out and clearing out your life, looking at your work, looking at your relationships, the projects you're involved with, the activities you're involved with, and really saying, is this feeling light? Is it feeding me? Is it bringing me joy or not? And if it isn't, then we need to make some changes.
In about 48 hours, I'll be a married man, so give me some tips. Give me some tips about what I can do in preparing to have a joyful marriage, one that keeps the joy in the marriage. My fiance is watching right now, too, so talk to her. Listen up, Valerie.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the key question for the self is, what is it that brings me joy? So now that there's going to be a partnership, a spiritual union, the question is, for both of you to answer, is what is it that brings us joy? And to be sure that that continues to show up and is present in your marriage, and it will stay juicy, it will stay yummy, and it will stay vital.
Juicy, yummy, and vital. I like those adjectives.
What if 100% integrity was the only way we function from this day forward? If you gave your word, you keep your word. Instead of the circumstances having the steering wheel in your life, you and your word and your personal power have the say-so.
You're in the business. Rejuvenation, restoration, renewal, repair.
Well, all of us could use a little joy in our lives, but often many of us have trouble finding it. We spoke with an author whose new book has some interesting views on the process of accepting and receiving all the joy you can stand.
Once you come up with what it is that brings you joy exactly, clearly, and specifically for you, then align the content and substance of your life up with that and have no more gaps.